Hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Puglo Escobar, and as you can see, me and my good friend Mr. Raccoon have arrived here today at my Maze Bank office, thank you Mr. Raccoon, in our armoured Paragons, and the reason for that is today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go and purchase my own Paragon R Sports, don't you know. Now, as it happens, Mr. Raccoon already is in possession of such a vehicle. I'm going to ignore my secretary there, she really is a most detestable woman, don't you know. Yes, like I said, but Mr. Raccoon owns himself both the Paragon Sports and the Paragon Armored now. I am in possession of only the Armored, and so I wish to remedy that right now, and that's what I'm going to do by purchasing myself a Paragon Sport. Okay, here we go now. The Enus Paragon R Sport can be found under the legendary motorsport website. There we go, retailing for a shade under $1 million, 900,000 basically, isn't it? Let's be honest, $905,000, right? That really is an annoying price. Okay, and as always, we're going to send it up to my Hillcrest residence, but on this occasion, we're going to indulge in a little bit of a race, ladies and gentlemen. We have two armored R Paragons here, and we're going to throw a grenade in the middle of a busy street, ladies and gentlemen, and see what happens. Okay, here we go. Right now, we're heading off. Now, this really is a fantastic vehicle, you know. As we may have shown, or you may have seen on the and there we go, Mr. Raccoon's trying to fire at me. Yes, very good, Mr. Raccoon, and now all the motorists are going to go crazy, don't you know. Right, like I say, yeah, oops, I daisies clipped that one, didn't I now? Right, I almost hit that one too. Yes, like I say, as you may have seen on the Paragon R Armored video that we released just recently, actually not as fast as the Sports, despite what some people say. Some commentators say that it is actually the superior vehicle. We here disagree, to be quite frank with you. We have done the test time and time again, and we always come with the same results, which is the Paragon Sports beats the Paragon Armored. So there we go. Right, you can take it for what you want, really, but that's our opinion. Right, okay, well, here we go. Now we're heading on over to Hillcrest, as you can see. Unfortunately, Mr. Raccoon, he was the more proficient driver of the pair of us, you know. Did hit a vehicle, which he only deserves, you know, for firing those rockets, firing those guns at me. Yes, we're going to hang up on Simeon, I think, and there we go. Right, okay, well, he is coming down the hill here, and hopefully he'll stop, and no, of course he's not going to, the bastard. Right, okay, right, never mind. And okay, right, we're gonna head on into the garage here and see if it's been delivered. Right, and there we are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the Enus Paragon R Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you've just seen the armored version on the streets. You've seen two of them. Right, and here we go. This is the sports version, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think? Well, I can't say much, can we? It looks exactly the same, really. That's the whole point of the armored version. It is a nice-looking car, though, you know. It's not exactly got the flair of some of the supercars, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But then again, it is a sports car, as it says in the bottom right-hand corner there. Yeah, so what do we expect, really? You know, it's sort of based on a Bentley, I do believe. I could be entirely incorrect on that, you do understand. Anyway, there we go. That's the vehicle. Let's take it out onto the street now. As it happens, Mr. Raccoon's more than content to shoot his machine guns and his armored Paragon there, so I'll leave him to it, whilst I attempt to undertake a sort of standard lap in this vehicle. Okay, here we go. We're going to take it on down Hillcrest, and there go my backlights. Thank you, Mr. Raccoon. Okay, now, like I say, whoops, it daisies. Okay, lost it completely there, didn't I? And thank you for the assistance there. Right, okie dokie, yes, yes, like I say, with the Armored R Paragon, to be quite frank with you, or the Paragon R Armored, I should say, really is a funny name, that one. Whoops, it daisies, spinny, and keeping going. Right, okay, there we go, and there goes Mr. Raccoon sailing off into the distance, and for some reason my car seems to have cut out. Okay, not often that happens. In fact, that's never happened before. Right, okie dokie, there we go. Now, what do we say about the Enus Paragon R Sports? Well, it's a fantastic vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. It's got excellent handling. It's got, as you can see, fantastic top speed. It's got very, very good acceleration. Look how fast we're going now. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at that. That's gonna, you know, that's perhaps one of the fastest cars out there. It really is very, very fast indeed. Right, and like I say, excellent handling. Shame that I'm hitting absolutely everything in the street. But never mind, there we go. Right, okay, we're going to take it on back round in the Maze Bank offices now, ladies and gentlemen. Have it upgraded. And there we go, trying to run me down, wasn't he, the wretched swine? And there we go. All he had to do was wait a moment and I'd do it myself. myself. Right, okay, here we go, and take it back into Maze Bank offices, ladies and gentlemen, and go and get the vehicle upgraded, you know, to the necessary upgrades and modifications and such forth, and see how it handles from there. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, taking the Enus Paragon R Sports into the custom auto shop, and we're just going to go through a few of the basic non-aesthetic stylings there, ladies and gentlemen, and before we move on to, like I say, the more sort of functional, the more functional elements initially before we move on to the more stylistic elements. Okay, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, we're running through this at a double time, you know, so we can speed it along somewhat. And there we are, looking at the exhaust now, the front bumpers and whatnot onto the grille and so forth. Now, there are a number of different options for this vehicle, you know, it's not particularly expensive, you're not paying over $1 million, so you're not going to get sort of lists and lists of things to affect on the car, but you've got a nice few standard options there, you can personalize it as you wish. Okay, it's got liveries, as you can see, not really, actually those are coming quite nicely on the white, aren't they? Yeah, so I guess you can see the liveries there, ladies and gentlemen, you've got different ones to choose from, and they do suit the car quite well on this occasion. Right, okay, there we go, and sitting on the carbon skirts and whatnot, okay, the spoilers and such forth. Okay, and there we go. Right, okay, that's jolly good, I do believe. Right, okay, let's go move on to the colour then, I believe we're going to be on right now, aren't we? Okay, well, we're just running through a few of the colours. I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to go for myself with this particular vehicle. Mr. Raccoon, as you may have seen on previous videos, has his own white and a green, and that's really what I'd rather like to go for myself on this car, but I don't wish to copy him too closely, you know, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to have to find something different there, you know. Okay, what do we think? Right, the blue maybe? Yes, I think so. Right, okay, in the secondary colour, you know, I shouldn't have had that black on the bonnet, you know, on the hood there, but that's what I've gone and done. Okay, I'm just going to stick it in one colour and perhaps stick a livery on and see what goes on there, don't you know. Right, okay, what do we think? Right, okay, I quite like that, to be quite frank with you. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to go for. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. That's the Enus Paragon R Sports fully upgraded, as you have just seen, and we're going to take it out onto the street now, and apparently everybody in the lobby has left. How about that now? Right, okay, and here we go. We're going to take it up on the street, heading towards the cemetery now. Missed that car, and we'll see how she handles. Right, and a call from Ron, he can go to hell. Right, okie dokie, $10,000 a crate, Ron, you got the nerve to call me. I'll tell you, if I ever found you, man, I'd shoot you in the face. Sorry, I hung up on that issue, you know, that Smuggler's Run DLC really was extremely annoying, wasn't it? Okay, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the Paragon R Sports, what do we think? Well, it's fantastic, ladies and gentlemen, it really is. It's not entirely stable, you know, I wasn't entirely sure the way Mr. Raccoon was driving. I thought it must be an absolute dream to drive, but no, it's a little bit wayward, it is a little bit skittish on you, but all in all, really a fantastic, bloody hell, right, okay, sodding hell, motorist came, turned out there, turned in front of me, and now I've ruined that bottom corner. Okay, that really is jolly annoying, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, not for the first time now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to go back and try that corner again, you know, that is really one of the points of this standing lap, don't you know, the standard lap, should I say. Yes, okay, so what do we say? Like I say, fantastic acceleration, fantastic top speed, very nice handling, I mean, very nice handling, like I say, it does want to come away on you if you're not entirely paying attention to what you're doing, but generally speaking, as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, this is an absolutely fantastic vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. I really would highly recommend it for the money. In fact, for under $1 million, you really can't go wrong. Okay, well, we've taken it back to the Maze Bank there, but now we're going to put it up against some cars on the track, don't you know? And that first vehicle we've got out there, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact the Paragon R Armored, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a more recent test we've done just to check that we are accurate in our results. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, even with me driving the R Armored there is not going to come past us, don't you know? And there it is, quite a long way back in the distance. Okay, so yes, it does appear the Sports is unquestionably faster than the Armored. I don't know how that rumor got started, but I'm quite convinced it's not accurate. And thank you, Mr. Raccoon, for shooting at me. Okay, for absolutely no reason whatsoever other than to prove that Mr. Raccoon is the more proficient driver. We put a Paragon R against Paragon R, you know, these are both the Sports. That's Mr. Raccoon there in his Paragon R. I mean, mine's got a bigger spoiler, don't you know? Would have thought that would have aided in sort of traction and whatnot, downforce, and made it better, but no, unfortunately not. No, it does appear that, as I say, Mr. Raccoon there is going to take this one, isn't he? And what was the point in putting this video up? Absolutely none at all. Paragon versus Paragon is irrelevant, isn't it, really? Let's be quite frank. But we did it anyway, so there. Right, okay, what's coming up next? Oh, no, there we go. Right, okay, the Zentorno, ladies and gentlemen. This is basically all it comes down to, let's be honest. You know, if you can't beat the Zentorno takes a lot of things out there. We get this sort of feel for what sort of car it is. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now it is $900,000 versus $725,000. Really, generally speaking, let's be honest, they're generally the same kind of ballpark, you know, not all that much difference between them. Didn't take the corner too well, to be quite frank with you, but we've done this test time and time again, and that pretty much is the result, you know. The Zentorno does seem to beat it, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to take the Zentorno, so there's a lot of other cars out there it won't take. But how about the new cars from the new DLC? How about the Obey 8F, what was it called, Drafter, I do believe? Okay, so how does it stack up against something like that? Now, we're going to be running through some of the more recent cars to be released in the DLC, ladies and gentlemen. I say this is the Obey, and as you can see, really is very close now, isn't it? Okie dokie, now I've got no idea of the price I got. I'm afraid on the Obey 8F, I haven't purchased it myself recently. I neglected to look before I filmed this video, and for that I can only apologize. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I think they're in the same price bracket, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they really are very close indeed. Okay then, so what else did come out recently in the DLC? Well, of course, we've got the Thrax now, haven't we? Okay, this is the True Fate Thrax, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming in at something like, I believe, 2,350,000, was it? Something like that. 2.3 million, I believe, was the sort of general ballpark for this vehicle. As you can see, 900,000 there for the Enus, and there we go. Okay, the Thrax is in the lead, but not for long. Okay, there we go. Right, okay, jolly humiliating there, isn't it? You know, you pay $2.3 million and get beaten by a car under $1 million. Not really that good. Okay, but there is a more expensive car released in this DLC, and that is that's the S80RR, don't you know, ladies and gentlemen? 2.5 million for this, I do believe. In fact, I know, because I bloody well brought it. And look at that, that's the Enus right out in front there. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to catch him. Okay, got round the corner faster than him, you know. There we go, jolly good. Actually, there we go. Taking him. How about that? Okay, so like I say, well, you spend another sort of $1.5 million and you can actually take it out. So there we go, gives you an indication. What the bloody hell's that? Right, okay, that's really rather annoying, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go, like I say, I mean, it's very close, but it does actually, the Enus Paragon actually beats all of the other cars in the DLC, the Thrax, the Obey, and of course the S80RR. Can't take the Zentorno, so it's not going to be able to take the GT, you know, GTO. But we're going to do it anyway. Yes, this is the Garotti Italy GTO. Ladies and gentlemen, this car is more like a rocket ship. It really seems massively overpowered, and we do love it because it's so incredibly bad at handling and so fast at the same time. It's basically a death wish all in one car. Okay, then here we go. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to take it, you know, ladies and gentlemen. We just wanted to sort of humiliate the Enus here, you know. It's gone and pretty much smashed the Thrax and the S80RR, which I spent basically a combination of sort of combined total of over $5 million almost. They've been upgraded, and it completely humiliated both of them, you know. And so we wanted to humiliate it, you know, like for like, that kind of thing. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Enus Paragon R Sports. What do we think? Well, it's jolly good, ladies and gentlemen. Beats most of the new cars in the DLC. Not the fastest car in the game, but jolly good handling, you know. For under $1 million, you really can't go wrong. Does come close with the Zentorno from time to time, you know. We did multiple tests, and from time to time the Zentorno can actually take it, so it is a very, very fast car, very good handling. Do I recommend you buy it for $900,000? Yes, I certainly do. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for watching.